Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lainey if you are new here, and my channel consists of all things lifestyle, healthcare, and books. So welcome, and welcome back if you are not new here. I want to hop on the mid-year book freakout tag. So that is what this video is going to be. I am so excited to hop into this. I love all things books. I love watching booktubers. It is my favorite thing ever. And I want to do more book related content on this channel. So I want to start incorporating things just like this, or reading vlogs, or talking more about how I read in my normal day-to-day life, working as a healthcare professional. So stick around if you want to watch that kind of content. I got my inspiration for this book tag from Jess Massey. I will put her YouTube channel right here. She is one of the booktubers that I watch, and I watched hers a couple days ago and got inspired to want to film my own. So these questions are all directly from her video, and I will link all the questions that I used down below if you want to film your own book tag. I've got a few physical books to hold up and show you as I go through this, but a lot of these are actually on my Kindle, or I borrowed them through my library and Libby. So I may not have a physical book for every single one, but don't worry, I will put at least a photo up here to show you what I'm talking about, and I will link the books down below. Let's start with the first prompt, which is the best book of 2025. I could not pick just one, so I have three for this. I have two physical here and also one that I read from my Kindle. So I will say my first best book of 2025 is Recursion by Blake Crouch. If you do not know who Blake Crouch is, he is known for his sci-fi techno thrillers. I think he's best known for his book called Dark Matter, which I have read and I highly recommend. This book right here is kind of up that same alley where it's definitely sci-fi. It's got some time travel, a lot of science fiction aspects to it. It makes your mind really work. You really got to think with these books, because he talks about a lot of things like quantum physics and that kind of stuff. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, you're not going to enjoy this, but I love his books. I love the way he writes. I love his storytelling, and I just can't get enough of his books. So I have read Dark Matter, Upgrade, and Recursion. I know he has another trilogy called the Wayward Pines trilogy. I have not read that series yet, but it will be on my TBR. My next best book of 2025 is Fourth Wing. I know, everyone loves Fourth Wing, or you're a Fourth Wing hater, that's okay. I literally saved this book to read at the beginning of the year because I knew that Onyx Storm was coming out in January, so I began this book on January 1st, and then read Iron Flame, and then read Onyx Storm. So I absolutely fell in love reading this book. I love it so much. Yarros, she is an amazing author. How her brain works, I have no idea. If you don't know what this book is, live under a rock. It is about a war college with dragon riders, and it follows their kind of story. There is so much more that goes into it. There's romance, there's close friendships, there's just so many things. I highly recommend. Don't be discouraged to pick this up because it's so popular. I promise it is worth it. The third but not the last best book of 2025 is Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. I just love the Windy City series. I am so sad that it's over. I was really looking forward to this book coming out, and I literally read it within the first week that it came out, and I read it in 24 hours. I'm not kidding. I sped through it. I ate it up. It was so good. I love it. I love Rio. I love Hallie. I love their love story and its second chance romance. And this, if you don't know what the Windy City series is, it's a interconnected sports romance series. It goes into hockey, basketball, and baseball. So you follow 5 different couples in this. There's 5 books. Rewind It Back is the 5th one and the final one in the series. There will be a spin-off though, so I'm excited to see where she takes that. But yeah, this is just a solid 5-star. Loved it. The next question is, what is the best sequel you have read this year? Again, I could not pick just one, so I chose 3. And all 3 of these, I'll put on the screen because I don't have the physical copy. The first one is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I do own this book, but someone is currently borrowing right now, so I do not have it physically to hold up and show you. This one gets all mixed reviews. I loved it though. It's the 3rd book in the Empyrean series. Fourth Wing is the first one. The second one is Iron Flame. Onyx Storm is the 3rd one. I loved it. Obviously, I can't tell you what it's about if you haven't read the series, but if you know, you know. I truly enjoyed it. 5 stars. I I couldn't put it down. Loved it. I can't wait for the next few to come out. The next one is Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. I read the Twisted series this year and I truly enjoyed it. Twisted Hate is actually the third book. I think it's a 4-book series. It's the third book in the series. This one's very much enemies to lovers. The spice is amazing. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole series actually, so highly recommend. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Yeah, Twisted Hate is up there for one of the best sequels of the year. And the third one for this is The Perfect Divorce by Geneva Rose. This one might be unpopular opinion, but I actually really enjoyed The Perfect Marriage. I did not see the plot twist coming. I read that a couple years ago, and when I saw they were releasing a second book in the series, I was like, is this gonna be, you know, like a cash grab because it got so popular? You know, the very first book got so popular. So I actually got it on audio from Libby and I really enjoyed it. I read it quickly and I thought it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. I highly recommend. It's definitely twisty. You're not going to see lots of plot twists coming, which is what I really enjoy about thrillers. So if you have not read The Perfect Divorce, I highly recommend. Or The Perfect Marriage, start with that one first, obviously, because they're interconnected. The next question is a new release that you haven't read but you want to. And again, I have 3 books for this one. I just can't pick just one. So the first one would have to be Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I read the Shepherd King series, which is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, earlier this year, and I loved it. I loved her writing. I loved her world building, and this book just came out like I think a month or 2 ago. I'm saving it to read for the fall time because I feel like it's definitely more of a fall fantasy type book. I also don't really know much about it. I auto-buying it because of Rachel Gillig and how much I like her writing. And it's fantasy and I love fantasy, so yeah, I'm not even gonna go into it and read the blurb. I'm just gonna go in blind, but I'm sure I'm gonna love it. The next book is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I have read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have not dived into the other books that they've written, like Vengeful, Vicious, that kind of stuff. But this book right here came out this year and everyone's been loving it. I'm also saving this one for the fall because I feel like it is definitely a fall read. Oh, here's Wallace. He wants to say hi. So all I know about this one is that it is lesbian vampires. Sign me up. That's all you gotta tell me. All right, and the other book that I really want to get to that's a new release is Caught Up by Nevessa Allen. This is the second book, I guess interconnected you would call it, in Lights Out series. The Lights Out book came out, I think it was last year when it first came out. It's about basically a masked guy on TikTok, and it's like a dark romance, humor, all that kind of stuff. I loved it. I binged it. I loved it last year. And the second one came out this year. I already have it on Audible. I just not had a chance to read it yet, but I'm going to get to it by the end of the year. The next question is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And the first one I want to mention is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is the second book in Interconnected Standalone series, with Bride being the first one. This is a werewolf vampire romance, at least Bride is. I'm not quite sure where they're gonna take Mate, but this is related to the first one with some characters that you see in Bride. So I really enjoyed Bride, so I'm very excited to read Mate. I think it comes out in October of this year, which is the perfect spooky season book to read. The next one I can't wait to read is A Resistance of Witches by Morgan Ryan. I forget who mentioned this in their YouTube video. Maybe I saw on Instagram. But it's actually releasing in July, so it'll be releasing the next couple of weeks, but it sounds definitely more like a fall winter type read. But it is a historical fantasy set in World War II with witches. That's all that they had to tell me for me to add to my TBR, so I'm very excited to read that one coming up later this year. And the last one for this prompt is The Primal of Blood and Bone by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This was actually supposed to come out like a month ago, but then she moved the release date to November of this year. This is I believe the 6th book in the Blood and Ash series. There have been so many books, especially with the interconnected Shadow in the Ember series. Everything is kind of like this. So I still need to read the last book in the Flesh and Fire series. I don't remember the name of it, but then this book comes out later this year. I'm gonna get it on audiobook so I can listen to it. The first book in this is called From Blood and Ash, and that was released many years ago. I loved it. Whenever I read ACOTAR and finished that, I jumped into this series and I truly enjoyed it. Some people don't like her writing. I actually enjoy it. I think it has a great amount of character development. The spice is really good. The world building is crazy. There's so many creatures, vampires, I mean, literally anything you can think of, it's in this, and it is just, yeah, the power dynamics are crazy. It's really good. I highly recommend. So I'm excited to read this when it comes out. The next prompt is the biggest surprise. So I have 2 books for this prompt. The first being The Humans by Matt Haig. I just love Matt Haig's writing. I read The Midnight Library last year and I loved it. And I hopped into this book this year and I was just blown away. This is about basically an alien who goes into a professor's body to basically eradicate this equation from Earth so people can't figure out the information. It is a story about humans and from the perspective of an alien looking into humans, and just makes you feel so small and minuscule, because we are small and minuscule. But there's just so many lessons and such good wisdom in this book that I just loved it so much. I'm pretty sure I tabbed and highlighted, yeah. This is the title of the chapter and it's literally called Advice for a Human, and it just literally goes through a list of everything, and I highlighted so many things. Like I said, it's just such wisdom in this book. I love it so much. I'll read y'all a couple of what these say. One of them is, be nice to other people at the universal level. They are you. This one reads, you could disappear at any second. This one, or this one, or this one. Make sure as often as possible you are doing something that you'd be happy to die doing. And then I'll leave you with this one. You get up, you put on your clothes, and then you put on your personality. Choose wisely. So there's literally over, I think, oh yeah, it's 97 things on here for Advice for Humans. But yeah, I highly recommend. It's one of these books that you gotta be kind of open-minded for. May not be for everybody, it's not everybody's taste, but I truly enjoyed it. I'm a very open-minded person. I love like spiritual things, aliens, that kind of stuff. So I really love this one. My next biggest surprise was Artificial Wisdom by Thomas R. Weaver. I noticed this on BookTube last year and I was just patiently waiting for my Libby to release it on audio, and they officially did. So I actually listened to it a couple months ago and I was pleasantly surprised. This is basically about artificial intelligence with politics, and it is a election basically to figure out who is going to be the new dictator of the earth, and it's between a politician and an artificial intelligence person. And it's a whole story with that, which is interesting. There's so much futuristic technology in this book. There is a tale of love, there's a tale of hardship, there's a murder mystery, there's just so much in this book. I truly enjoyed it. I think he's planning on releasing a second book in that, so I would be interested to see where that goes because it ends on kind of a cliffhanger. So if you're curious about AI and that kind of stuff and you like politics and that kind of stuff, you'll love this book. Next prompt is favorite author, debut, or new to you, and the first one to talk about is Blake Crouch. I just love his books. I can't get over them. I have Dark Matter, but my dad's borrowing it right now, so I don't have the physical copy with me. But yes, I read Upgrade and I read Recursion this year, and I read Dark Matter at the end of last year. So this is very much new to me, less than a year of knowing his writing. I just love it. I think it's so fast paced. His books are short. They're a little over 300 pages each. The sci-fi elements are crazy. Like I said, I love the spiritual, quantum physics, make you type think kind of books, and that's what these books are. And if I had to put them in order, I think that I would say Dark Matter number 1, Recursion number 2, and then Upgrade number 3. Upgrade is also a sci-fi thriller. This one's more about genetic mutation, alteration, superhumans, that kind of stuff, which is really interesting. So yeah, Blake Crouch, love his writing. I just need to really go back and read more of his books. Wayward Pines, I don't know. I'm moving it up on my TBR. I gotta read it. The second new author to me is Chelsea Curto, and she is the author of the DC Stars series, which is a hockey romance. I have only read 2 of the books of the 4 that are out, and love them both. I binged all of them, and they're the perfect amount of plot, romance. They're very smutty, which I love. I love me a spicy book, okay? And I just loved her writing, and it kind of gives me the feel of the Windy City series because the friends are so close and connected, and I got that feeling. Maybe I was reaching for that whenever I finished Rewind It Back, and then I went to go read these books because I miss those characters so much. But it reminds me of that a lot. So I feel like if you like the Windy City series, you should dive into this one because it kind of gives me that same feel of the friends that become family. So I have been loving her writing, and I can't wait to read the next 2 in that series. Next question is newest fictional crush. And I have 2. First one is Mr. Zayden Ryerson. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, okay? I know this is basic. Everyone loves Zayden Ryerson. I get it. But you don't know if you haven't read it. And Zayden is daddy. And he is my new fictional crush, okay? Sorry. Yeah. He is tall, tattooed, dark hair, you know, morally gray, but he loves his woman. So, love him. And my other newest fictional crush is Justin from Just for the Summer. I was literally swooning in this book with the way he was sending Excel spreadsheets and surveys about the dates that he was planning and what to do and what to vote for, and the way that he treats her in this book is just incredible. And yeah, so definitely book boyfriend goals. He is amazing. If you've not read this book, I highly recommend. This came out last year, but I literally didn't pick it up until later in the summer, and then I was like, well, it's fall, so I can't read it now. So I literally finished this a couple days ago, and yeah. Next prompt is book that made you cry. I don't really cry often in books, hardly ever, actually. And there is only one book that made me cry this year, and I'm sorry. I don't know if this is gonna be the last time I pull this up in this video, so I apologize, but the death in this book absolutely killed me. I was crying in the club, calling my mom afterwards because she read Fourth Wing before I did, and just sobbing to her, making her cry. If you know, you know. I'll shut up about this book. Next prompt is a book that made you happy, and I have 2 books for this. I'll just go ahead and pull this one up because it's a repeat again. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Loved it. I was literally, like I said, with the dates and the Excel spreadsheets and everything, and how the main character overcomes everything in this book. And it's just, I don't know. Abby Jimenez has a way with intertwining such serious topics and conversations, but also making it a fun romance and so enjoyable. So I just love her books so much. And yeah, so this one made me smile a lot and made me happy. The second book in this one is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I actually listened to this on audio, and I really enjoyed it. I was really smiling, everything. Basically, this is on the back of the book, but her aunt dies, and then she moves into her apartment that she owns in New York City, and then she's all of a sudden flashback 7 years in the past and meets this guy. And that's kind of their love story. So it's time travel, what would you call it, like magical realism, that kind of stuff. Amazing relationships with her current friends, her aunt, the traveling, the love interest, all that kind of stuff. It's really good. The next question is the most beautiful book you have bought this year or were gifted. So I actually haven't bought very many books this year, to be honest, which is great because I've been reading a lot on my Kindle and using Libby. But, and I also don't do like Fairy Loot or the beautiful books or like, you know, Barnes & Noble editions, that kind of stuff. So I was thinking of this book, you know, what did I purchase this year that I think is so beautiful? And I think it has to go to the Shepherd King series, which is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. I think that these books, especially One Dark Window, are so beautiful. The gold foiling on the edges, like the illustrations on the book itself, I think it is just so gorgeous. So I was like, this definitely fits the bill for the most beautiful book that I purchased this year. So sorry to disappoint if you were thinking I was going to show you some, you know, crazy frou-frou type book, but this is it. The next prompt is, what are the books that you need to read by the end of the year? And absolutely number one on this list is Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. I have read ACOTAR, I have read Throne of Glass, I have not read Crescent City. I think it's because some people are saying this is like their least favorite of the series that Sarah J. Maas has released. So I've just been kind of intimidated by it, and they're very, very long books. But I think that I am going to read these by the end of the year. I'm gonna start probably fall, winter. And I think my mom's gonna do it with me so we can buddy read, and that'll be kind of a good motivation. I'm excited, but I'm a little intimidated and I'm a little scared, but I think I just need to go into it. And every single time I see a TikTok or a video, reel, whatever about Crescent City, I just keep scrolling, so nothing is spoiled, I don't know anything about it. And yeah, so I need to read this book by the end of the year. Next ones I need to read at the end of the year are the All Souls trilogy by Harley LaRue. The first book in that one is called Her Soul to Take. It, I think, is about a witch who summons a demon or something, and it's dark romance and it's spicy, so that's all I know. That's all I need to know. I'm gonna dive in, I'm gonna read them. So I've heard they're really good. They're on Kindle Unlimited. I have the first book on my Kindle right now. Again, it seems more like a fall winter type read, so I'm going to wait until the end of the year to do that, but that is on my list. Next book is Quicksilver by Callie Hart, and the second book comes out in, I believe, November of this year. So I think my plan is to read Quicksilver, you know, a week or two before the next one comes out. I think it's called Brimstone. This one is a romantasy type book. Again, I don't really know a whole lot about it. My mom has read it, said it's really good. I know it's a morally gray main character. I think that there are fae in this, I'm pretty sure. A large quest. It's kind of long, it's spicy. So, sounds good to me. Can't wait to read it. Last one for this prompt is the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. It is the beginning of July, and I think that I need to get onto these books to read them before the end of August. So that it feels like a summer read to me. So I think I'm gonna finish up my current book right now, and I'm gonna hop into these immediately after this video, to be honest, because I have not experienced a cowboy romance, and people always talk about these books and how amazing they are. And there are 5 books in this series, and I really need to get to them because I've literally had them on my TBR for about 2 years now, and I don't know why I have not picked them up. So I am going to read them by the end of the year. The next prompt is, how many 5 stars have you had this year so far? And this is actually an interesting question because I am kind of surprised, actually. I have read 38 books so far this year, and I have 9 total 5-star reads, which I feel like that's a pretty good amount. It's not a third, it's a little bit less, so I'm not just like throwing them out willy-nilly like candy. I've been strategic with what I want to rate 5 stars, which ones I don't rate 5 stars. So I have given 9 books total 5 stars, which include Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. Sorry, I said I was not going to mention it again, but here I am mentioning it again. The Humans, which I showed you, One Dark Window, Upgrade, Recursion, Rewind It Back, and Just for the Summer. So those were my 9 5-star reads for this year so far. The next prompt is, what books do you want to reread this year? So I am not really a rereader, you can call me, but if Sarah J. Maas would release when she's gonna do ACOTAR book number 6, then I'll reread ACOTAR, because I read that literally over 4 years ago, and yeah, I miss that world so much. It's one of the best. Throne of Glass is the best, obviously, but ACOTAR, you know, it'll feel like I'm reading it for the first time again because it's been so long. So once we have the release of when the next one's gonna come out, I'm gonna reread ACOTAR. The next one is a book you enjoyed with mixed reviews. I actually only have one for this prompt because I feel like I've been reading a lot of hitters with people who love the books as much as I do. So whatever this year that's kind of mixed reviews is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I feel like I was very put off by this series due to people saying the first book is the worst, you just gotta keep reading and it gets better. I actually really enjoyed Twisted Love. It got a little dark towards the end, but I really enjoyed their love story, and I gave 3.5 stars. So yes, it wasn't the best book out of the series, but I actually really enjoyed it. I feel like a lot of folks were like, oh, I DNF'd it and I went to the next one. I enjoyed it. The last question of this video is, what are my 5-star predictions for the rest of the year? And I have a couple for this one. They're actually both in series. So the first ones are Phantasma and Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. I literally know zero about these books. Sorry. I can't tell you what they're about. All I know is that they're fantasy, that there's some spice in them, that they're really good. They're on Kindle Unlimited, so that's kind of all you need to tell me. It's popular, people love them. I think they're gonna be 5 stars for me later in the year. And the last one is a duology, which is Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli. And again, I don't know much about it besides it's a witch and a witch hunter, and it's their story, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, and everybody loves it. I like to go into my books blind. I don't need to read a whole entire synopsis to know if it's recommended, all my people are reading it, I'm gonna read it too. So there you have it. These are all the physical books that I have here again. Thank you so much for watching my mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it's a little bit different to my channel. So I'm hoping to incorporate some more stuff, so let me know if you want to see anything or have any questions about anything. But thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!